preparing live. Looks like we're now streaming live on Facebook. Let me just double check we're in the right group. Let me see. Yes, we are live. Amazing. Right, okay, so welcome all to the GGC August Charity Spotlight. Today we are catching up with Beth and Lisa from CREATE Paisley to find out about the amazing work that you guys are doing for your local community, and just to find out if there's any ways in which we can get involved and help support you. So welcome, ladies.
Thank you so much
for having us.
Not at all, not at all. Right, okay, so I've got some questions here. I'll also invite anyone who's watching this live to ask any questions as well. It might be that the ladies come back to you thereafter, depending on timing, but we've got some good questions just now anyway. Right, okay, so let's start from the beginning, ladies. Tell us about CREATE Paisley.
So CREATE started off back in 2009 as a kind of safe space in Paisley. They wanted to offer young people somewhere to go, somewhere to socialise, somewhere that they could meet other people and obviously bring their friends along too. So it started off as an open mic night in the Union at Paisley University, and that was once a month. They held like a large event, and the first one attracted around like 40 young people. So obviously the success of that then continued the events on each month, and the more the events went on, the bigger the numbers got each time. So from that, CREATE then went on to being more youth focused, and they wanted to move away from doing one event a month to doing more for the young people, giving them more opportunities, offering them more opportunities to come along and meet people and learn new skills and open up pathways for them. So they moved towards doing workshops. So the workshops range from doing arts, open mics, social drop-ins, anything that was going to attract a larger group of young people, and that led to the kind of change in CREATE, and it led the youth kind of led the pathway of where it was going to go for the future. And that led to when 2012 came and we became a registered charity. And from being in the registered charity, we had the goal of supporting young people within the Paisley area, which then became the wider Renfrewshire area as well. And CREATE are focused on 4 of their main values, which is creativity, community, confidence and finding voice, which I think is important for a lot of young people, and especially within the arts industry. There's so many opportunities that young people can express that through different outlets, whether it be singing, drawing, poetry, writing, songwriting, anything. And CREATE's vision is for young people to be transformed through them 4 values, which has been highlighted throughout since 2012 and right through the pandemic as well. And over the last year, obviously the pandemic's hit hard for both CREATE and the young people who were benefiting from CREATE, and it's seen as transition from the workshops, which are on 3 to 4 times a week in person, to then going online. So we had to change everything, and the youth workers were then online hosting sessions, the guests were coming in hosting sessions online, and it was hard for the young people because they were obviously doing school, and they were doing school throughout the day, and then they were coming on the sessions with CREATE at night time as well. So it did see a large drop, but at the moment we are transitioning back to in person, and Lisa can tell you more about what's going on in our programme, our summer programme at the moment.
Brilliant.
Oh, cool. Right now. Okay. Yeah, so we've got loads of stuff going on right now. I am the youth development worker for in Paisley, but we have another youth development worker who's also called Lisa, who works in Linwood and Johnston. So right now we have at least one event every single day of the week, except for the weekends. Some of them are online, some of them are in person. A lot of them are in person right now. And we have all of that stuff on our website, but we're working with anyone from 12 to 22, and there's stuff that is for like youth voice and like activism. There's things that are we've got like a mural project in Shortroods, which is exploring neurodiversity, and we're going to design a mural which is going on a wall in Shortroods. It's really exciting. We've got creative writing and like multimedia clubs and stuff like that, and we also have our open mic cafe, which we still run on a Friday, and sometimes it's an open mic, and then we actually do it every week. So sometimes it's like a games night, and sometimes it's a quiz and stuff like that. So we have a whole bunch of stuff going on in lots of different sort of topics as well. It's not all just like painting or whatever. It's like all the arts and stuff too. So yeah.
It sounds so fun and such a great charity for young people to get involved with, because you're providing opportunity, and this idea of community as well that you mentioned, it's so important, because we've all been through something which has taken us away from real life community. So still you've been able to kind of nurture the young people and take it all online is brilliant, that you were still able to do that. And obviously getting the real life in-person stuff again is great. And we've just launched our health and wellbeing magazine, and a feature in it is the fact that creativity, whether you think that you're good at it or not, like, it's a mindful thing, isn't it? It kind of makes you escape any like negative thoughts that you might have going on, because you're so focused on the task at hand. So it sounds absolutely brilliant. So Lisa, you're a youth worker for CREATE Paisley, and Beth, what's your role in the charity?
So I'm the fundraising and the marketing coordinator for CREATE. So I started this year in January, and this is kind of my first full-time role, as I finished university last year. Brilliant time to finish. So this is like my first kind of full-time role. To be honest, I didn't think I would be working in the kind of charity sector. I graduated in events management, so I wanted to go into live events, but obviously everything changed and your kind of pathways need to change. So last year I completely turned upside down and I landed this job with CREATE, and it's super rewarding. Like, from being, obviously I don't work with the young people one-to-one, but the stories that I hear back from the team and the feedback that we get through our social media from parents and other groups as well, and just hearing about, obviously, if I'm doing some fundraising activities, where that money goes towards and how that's getting utilised within the groups. It's so rewarding. It's amazing. So that's kind of my role, and I'm the one who like networks within the community with our partners and with yourselves as well. So just I'm kind of the social butterfly and going about everywhere.
Nice, just getting the charity out there and all the good work that you do. So how can young people get involved then? Like, do they need to be in that Paisley catchment area? Like, how can they get involved with the great stuff you're doing?
Well, they don't necessarily have to be in Paisley, although a lot of all of our things take place in either Paisley, Linwood or Johnston. But obviously we want, as many young people to engage as possible. It is for people in Paisley, but it's okay if you want to come along and see what's going on in Paisley, then always encourage people to have a visit. All of our stuff you can find our things on our social media. I'm sure Beth will be able to share that stuff with you. We usually put in all of our events in there, or on Eventbrite as well, if it's something that you have to sign up for and it has like limited amounts of people, because obviously with COVID right now, we can't just have a room packed full of people. So there's limits on how many people we can have in a venue and things. So sometimes we do have ticketed events, in which case people would have to sign up. But all of our social medias, Beth will tell you about, because she's the social media guy.
Brilliant. Give us an overview then, Beth.
I'll give us a little plug then. So we're operating on all social media. So we're on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter, and we put weekly updates on what's on. So our handle is just CREATE Paisley. And every week we put a rundown, especially just now, of our summer programme, of what's happening each day. And then each day we try and share just kind of what's happened at that session that's went on. We get some pictures out so that it attracts our new young people, and obviously parents and other groups can see as well what the groups get up to on their sessions. And we post a lot about not just the content of the programmes and that, we post about our fundraising activities on there. We post about any updates about the organisation and in the local area as well, because we work quite closely with a lot of other youth groups in the area. So we like to support and get their content out there as well. And like Lisa said, we've got all our events on our Facebook page and on the website as well, which all have links to sign up pages and any forms that have to be signed as well, which is quite easy all in one place.
Brilliant. So anybody watching this that falls within the kind of young person category, they can just go to your social media and see what's happening and sign up for tickets or sign up for anything via that rather. So you don't need to have like a membership per se. You can just join it in as and when.
Yeah, you can just join. So a young person might want to come on a Monday, or they might want to come on a Wednesday, but they don't want to come to all the sessions, so they can pick and choose which one they're free to come along to, or what if they want to attend all of them, then that's great, and they can get the chance to meet all our regulars as well that come to most of them. So there's the opportunities there to just pick and choose. There's no membership needed as long as the form's filled out, and obviously if they've got parental consent and whatnot, then that's perfect.
What a brilliant opportunity. And what about if anyone's watching this who would like to get involved from like an expert's or a professional's position, you know, maybe they're an artist, or maybe they're someone that could host a workshop. How could they do that?
Yeah, I think we're always kind of on the lookout for like creatives who would like to share their skills. And like I say, we do like a whole range of stuff. It doesn't necessarily like matter what your thing is. Like maybe you're into wool craft, or maybe you're into like set design, or you know, maybe you're into podcasting or whatever. And if you've got like a skill and you think, oh, like I would love to share this with young people, then definitely get in touch, because you know, we're looking for ideas, and we always try and take the lead from the young people, but they're so flexible. You know, you'll find young people everywhere that are interested in all sorts of topics. So I would definitely encourage people who would like to do that to get in touch with us.
Oh, amazing. And you could maybe even send GGC anything if there's any young people that are looking for set things, and we can share it in the group, because there might be someone that sees the post that's like, oh, I could do that. So that would be really good as well. Lisa, you mentioned a mural project that you've got, which sounds amazing. What examples of kind of like other favourite projects do you have?
Oh, that's a great question. So we've got that one, which is a mural. There is another mural that we're making with the Paisley YMCA. And that's a kind of like hexagons. So each young person gets 2 hexagons, and the mural's all going to sort of fit together like that, which is really exciting.
Oh, yeah.
We also had our Amplify group, which has been making a podcast that was about mental health. It was something which they were really passionate about, especially during lockdown. They wanted to be talking about mental health. So that was just an amazing project. And I always love the cafes. Open mic cafes are so much fun. They're very like chaotic, but also just like loads of fun. It's like a wee party.
Oh, that sounds really good. Open mic. I've always wanted to go to an open mic. So can you go and like listen to the young people perform if you're not like involved yourself?
So you don't have to perform, but you would have to be a young person to come along. Like we couldn't just let adults come in, if that makes sense. But you can be up to 22. So we encourage people to come along and just watch, because I'm not a performer myself, but they're, you know, come along and encourage is what we always say.
Oh, I wish I was under 22, but that sounds really, really amazing. So what plans have you got coming up then, now that we're kind of coming out of lockdown somewhat? You get a wee bit of the fear saying that, don't you? I know that we're out of lockdown, but you're a bit like, oh, well, hopefully we're going back to normal. So what have you got coming up?
So we've got a lot of things coming up in terms of the fundraising side of things. I'll kind of touch on that for at least I'll let you know about the programme side of things. So as you can imagine, over the last year, the fundraising's kind of been put to a stop. We've not been able to do anything in person, or we've not been able to do anything with partners, and whether it be in businesses or in venues and whatnot. So we're hoping to see obviously that pick up over the next few months, especially coming up to Christmas time. We've got a lot of big plans for our Christmas fundraising kind of pathways, which would be great to get a lot of small businesses or even large corporate businesses involved in. We have within the next week, we've got the CREATE Festival takeover starting. So we've got some local shops, some co-ops and Morrisons taking part, and they're doing some in-store fundraising for us. And the staff are all kind of dressing up in funky themes and like a festival kind of attire, and they're going to do some fundraising in store over August time, which will be great, because that's the kind of first first step outside that we're going towards for fundraising. And we'll just continue to hold, we do like little online raffles each month or every couple months. So we've got a nice one coming up in August for a little afternoon tea prize, which will be lovely, thanks to the Macintosh at the Willow kindly donated an afternoon tea for us. So we're going to get that out in August time. And we have a big one in September. We have the Kilt Walk coming up, which is fingers crossed in person. We had massive success in April and we done it virtually. Most of you probably know or probably took part in it and done it virtually, doing your own little walk. So hopefully this time we can all be a big team together and recruit some more walkers, which will be great. So that's the kind of pathway of fundraising activities that we've got coming up. And there's always little challenges online as well. We love to do a little social media challenge where you can win prizes and stuff to keep our young people and also the adults entertained on social media too. So keep an eye out on that as well. And I'll let Lisa tell you about what's coming up programme wise.
Brilliant.
Yeah, so we've got lots, I guess at the end of the summer, our programme changes a little bit to be more sort of evening based. There's lots of new things popping up in Linwood and Johnston, which I would encourage people to keep their eyes out for, because that's quite exciting. There's not really been a lot of stuff out there for young people before. So definitely get involved with those things. Again, you can see all that stuff on our social media, where we've also got a new project coming up in August with the Paisley Museum. So Paisley Museum's being redone right now. It's quite exciting. And they're hoping to have a co-production project with young people who are 16 to 18 for the intro gallery. So the little bit when you first walk into the museum, they want us to produce an immersive space for the intro gallery with young people. So that's really exciting. That's starting in August. And would encourage people to have a look at that. It's on our Eventbrite as well. And yeah, we're having our in-person cafe again on the 13th of August, and that's going to be our kind of end of summer celebration. So that should be really good. And after that, who knows? We'll try to take the lead from the young people. So if whatever they want to happen, we'll try and make happen. So if people have any ideas, then please feel free to get in touch.
That's so exciting. And will you send me the Eventbrite link for CREATE Paisley as well, so I can put that on the intro to this live as well? I'll go back and edit the top so that people can go on and see what's coming up. So that all sounds brilliant. And Beth, you mentioned about the fundraising element and the fact that you would maybe be looking for some small businesses and local businesses to get involved. How can ladies of the GGC community, business owners, how could they get involved to help support what you're doing?
So there's loads of opportunities to get involved, depending on obviously your business size and what your kind of purpose is. So we've had a lot of support from corporate businesses before, but in terms of our next steps, I think it'd be really good to get some small businesses involved. And through a lot of learning about the fundraising side of things is a lot of small businesses can donate a percentage of their sales, which is a big thing that's happening in the sector at the moment, because obviously there's been very limited in-person events and fundraising activities. So a lot of small businesses have supported local charities in that sense, as well as just the general, if you've got a raffle coming up, if you can support the young people in any way through a small donation from the business, then that's always a great one. And also a lot of businesses offer their space or their staff. So whether it be you could maybe host, or we could host something in their venues or in their shops or their salons, whatever it may be. And they also offer their staff as volunteers, which is, there's so many different opportunities now and so many softwares online that they can use to support us, which is great. And like I said, a lot of small businesses have probably done fundraising before. So if anyone's got any ideas that they've done before for previous charities and want to step forward and let us know, or something that's works best for them, then we're obviously always open to new ideas, which is great.
That sounds amazing. Sorry, I was muting myself there because my dog keeps barking. She keeps giving me a fright as well. I'm like,
Oh,
right, okay, these are just things you can't control in a live. You can't control it. That sounds really, really good. Beth, would you be happy if I shared your email address then in the group So for anyone watching
Yeah.
this, might be like, oh, there's stuff that I could do to help, that they can contact you direct. Would that be, or equally they can come through GGC and I can say, and it's totally up to you. You can let me know.
Yeah, absolutely. You can fire my email out. That's fine. Always happy to chat.
Brilliant. Okay, amazing. Well, listen, it's been so lovely to catch up with you and find out all the brilliant stuff you're doing. It would be great to get anything that you've got coming up, send it through to us so that we can share it, and just keep us posted on the things that you're doing, because I want to, you know, be continually sharing the stuff with our charity spotlight partners, just so the community get to know, because sometimes when it comes to charity, and I say this all the time, but you want to help but you don't really know what you can do. So
Yeah.
it's great to touch base with, you know, inspirational people and charities like yourself, just to find out the good that you're doing in Glasgow, because it makes such a difference.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you so much for your time, and it's amazing what you are doing for the charity spotlight as well each month.
Not at all, not at all. And you should do a wee takeover of the GGC Instagram as well, so we can talk about that separate.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much, Laura.
No problem at all. Thank you to both of you. I'm going to stop this live stream now and we'll speak to you again soon.
No worries. Thank you.
Thanks very much.
Bye.